How to start a successful commercial piggery business as a beginner. The first thing I want you to know is to have knowledge. Gain basic knowledge on the business. You can read books about piggery, you can visit other farms, you can ask questions, book for consultations. If need be, don't just enter into the business blank, and when you start facing challenges, you start running here and there instead to be solving them. In the business, there is a lot to learn, but at least gain the basics first before starting. The second thing I will want you to know is you need to have a plan. Have a plan of action. Don't just wake up one morning because you have the money and just jump into the business, or because you see others thriving in the business and you say you just want to start. Always have a plan. Have a plan. The plan is always going to guide you on what and what not to do when it comes to the business. The third thing is to have a structure, a solid structure. It must not be fancy or too expensive. You can have a less costly structure that is solid. And when constructing, you should not only construct with the number of animals you are starting with, but construct with the plan in your mind that the animals are going to multiply. So for example, if you are starting with 2 female piglets, by the time they are 10 to 12 months old, you should be expecting at least 14 piglets from them. So it is always good to prepare a space for them ahead of time. So the next thing I want you to know is to have good genetics. Sort out for good breeds from reputable farms that keep good records of their genetics. Don't just say because my friend or my relative has been into piggery for 25 years, you say you go and take piglets from them. Don't go for the locals, guys. There is one thing I have noticed with us farmers is you will see a pig for about a year old and it is looking like a pig of 4 months or 5 months. And when you see them, they are very healthy in the size, but the growth hasn't changed. Like they are not changing from the way they are. And then when you ask how old are they, when you see them in the video, they are looking healthy, but when they tell you the age is another thing. So be careful. Be careful, please. Be careful. Time in this business is a big factor, so we don't joke when it comes to time. So go for good breeds. The next thing is go for sort out the feeding. Feeding is one of the most difficult challenges when it comes to us as pig farmers. To feed, because as you know, you have to feed for about a year before you start seeing something. So it is a little capital intensive at the start, but in the long run, it is a profitable business. So the feeding should be a balanced diet. Feed them a balanced diet, because once you don't give them good feeds, their growth is going to be retarded. And once their growth is retarded, a pig of say a year old will not be able to give you 50 kgs. And you know what that means as a pig farmer. So give your animals a well-balanced diet, because whatever you give to them is what they are going to give back to you in return. So invest in good feeding. I will always advise farmers to sort out feeding first before they even venture into the business. Please, please, and please. Feeding is very paramount. And one thing I'm forgetting is a good source of water. I will always advise beginner farmers to invest in nipple drinkers, because you ensure a constant supply of water to the animals. Water too enables them to grow faster. So drinking clean and running water every day is going to help the farm to grow faster. So if possible, dig your own borehole so that you always have water, because if you depend on this government water on snake, it is very, very disappointing to rely on the snake water. I'm saying this from experience. So invest in your own borehole and your nipple drinkers, because for those using bowls and pockets for drinking water, you agree with me that once they urinate or they defecate in their water, that is all, they will not drink it. And there are times that when you put the water in the course of movement or moving inside the pen, they can throw off the water and they will not have any water to drink, especially for those using dry feet. Keeping the pigs away from water is very harmful to them for those using dry feet. So endeavor to have clean water, or you take it upon yourself that every after 2 hours or 3 hours you are going to change the water, which that is not also easy to do. So this one is a bonus point. Have a good management at your farm. Even when you are the one, have a good record keeping in your farm. Even when you are employing someone to work at the farm, the worker should be, or they should know what they are into, what they are going into. Educate them on what you want them to do. Don't just leave them there to do whatever they want. Always tell them what to do at one point in time. So if you have picked something, please guys, like, comment and share. My name is Colette, the Happy Farmer. See you next time.